other questions from mathematics. Let's see some other questions from mathematics. Let's see some other questions from mathematics. Let's see.
This is Subramanyam, Mathematics faculty. The paper discussion shift 1, 24th Jan. Already 4 questions were completed. The 5th one is consider a sequence 729, 81, 9, 1 and so on. Let Pn is product of first n terms of the given sequence. Then summation n is equal to 1 to 40, Pn whole to the power of 1 by n is equal to 3 to the power of alpha minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power of beta. Then the value of alpha plus beta they are asking. Observing the question is related to the sequence and series. It is very clear. The given sequence you observe, the given sequence is observing. It is observe the given sequence. It becomes as 729. As we know that 81 is power 3, 9 is also power 3, 1 is also power 3. So definitely 721 is also 3 to the power of something. That is 3 to the power of, the given sequence is in the form of 3 to the power of 6, comma, 3 to the power of 4, comma, 3 square, comma, 3 to the power of 0, comma, and so on. This is the given sequence. Now, they are defined. Pn is defined as product of first n terms of the given sequence. So, we are trying to find out product of the first n terms of the given sequence. That is, Pn is equal to, I am going to find out. Pn is equal to 3 to the power of 6 into 3 to the power of 4 into 3 square into 3 to the power of 0 into and so on 3 to the power of n. These are n terms in the given sequence. The first n terms are 3 to the power of 6, 3 to the power of 4, 3 square, 3 to the power of 0 and so on 3 to the power of n. Now, by simplifying this one is equal to 3 to the power of 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus so on plus n terms. Observe, the exponent is AP. The exponent is AP with common difference is 2 and the first term is 6 and it has n terms. So, already we have the formula for the sum of the n terms of AP. The sum of the n terms of AP formula is, as we know that, n by 2 times of A plus n minus 1 times of D. A plus n minus 2A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the formula for sum of the n terms of AP. Now, by using this formula, we are going to calculate the power. That is 3 to the power of 3 to the power of n by 2 into 2A, 2 into 6 plus n minus 1 times of D. The common difference is minus 2. Now, we are trying to simplify the exponent, that is 3 to the power of n by 2 times of, see there, 12 plus 2, 14 minus 2n. Now, this is equal to 3 to the power of is equal to 3 to the power of n times of 7 minus n. This is the Pn, where Pn is equal to 3 to the power of n times of 7 minus n. Now, we are going to calculate summation n is equal to 1 to 40, Pn whole to the power of 1 by n. Now, observing Pn whole to the power of 1 by n is equal to 3 to the power of n times of 7 minus n whole to the power of 1 by n. That is 3 to the power of 7 minus n. This is Pn whole to the power of 1 by n. Now, we want the sum of the 40 terms in this series again. That is summation n is equal to 1 to 40 Pn whole to the power of 1 by n. Pn whole to the power of 1 by n is equal to we want. Now, this is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to 40 Pn is, Pn whole to the power of 1 by n is 3 to the power of 7 minus n. Now this is equal to, observe, this is again geometric series, that is 3 to the power of 6 plus 3 to the power of 5 plus so on plus 3 to the power of, by substituting n is equal to 40 here, 7 minus 40, that is minus 33. Minus 33. Now, you know how we are finding the geometric, sum of the geometric terms, that is the sum of the geometric series, 40 terms. 40 terms. We have the formula. The formula is a into, that is 3 to the power of 6 into 1 minus r. R is here. R is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 whole to the power of 40 upon 1 minus 1 by 3. Now, by simplifying this one, you can simplify this one and we get that RHS in the form of 3 to the power of alpha minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power of beta. That is, see there? I am going to erase the first one. Here I am writing. Therefore, the value is 3 to the power of 3 to the power of alpha minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power of beta is equal to, by simplifying, 3 to the power of 6 times of 3 to the power of 40 minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power of 39. Now, this one is equal to 3 to the power of 40 minus 1 upon 2 into 3 to the power of 33. Now, comparing with LHS, we get alpha and beta values. Alpha is equal to 40 and beta is equal to 33. So, alpha plus beta they asked, it is 73. 73 is the right answer. 73. 73 is the right answer. Problem is moderate problem and related with the combination of the AP and GP. So, it is within the syllabus and it is solvable problem every student. The next one. The next problem is, if A1, A2, A3 and so on are in AP and given that A2 minus A1 is equal to minus 3 by 4 and A1 plus A2 plus so on plus AN is equal to 525 upon 2 and AN is equal to 1 by 4 times of A1, then summation I is equal to 1 to 7, AI is equal to, they are asking. Now, this problem is also related to the sequence and series. This session or this shift contains two problems from the sequence and series. It is lucky. So, the here A1, A2, A3 and so on, AN are in AP. The given sequence is AP such that A2 minus A1 is given. A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1 means you know that this is A2 minus A1 is equal to minus 3 by 4. It is nothing but the common difference of AP. The common difference of AP is minus 3 by 4. Next, there is one condition is given. AN is equal to is given. AN is equal to 1 by 4 times of A1. Now, by using the nth term of AP, we are trying to establish the relationship between N and A1. That is AN formula as we know that. AN is equal to A1 plus N minus 1 times of D is equal to 1 by 4 times of A1. Now from this, A1 minus 1 by 4 times of A1 is equal to N minus 1 times, that is N minus 1 times of minus D. Now A1 minus 1 by 4 times of A1 becomes as 3 by 4 A1 is equal to N minus 1 times of minus D becomes as 3 by 4. So from this we get the relation from between A1 and N, that is A1 is equal to n minus 1. A1 is equal to n minus 1. Now, one more relation is given. The sum of the first n terms is given. That is, Sn is given. Observe there, Sn is given. Sn is equal to 525 upon 2. Sn is equal to 525 upon 2. Sn formula, we know that the sum of the n terms of AP is given by the formula n by 2, 2A1 plus n minus 1 into D is equal to 525 upon 2. Now 2 gets cancelled. Here is n into 2A1. 2A1 means 2 times of n minus 1 plus n minus 1 into D is already here minus 3 by 4 is equal to 525. Now by simplifying this one, we are trying to simplify this one. N into, it is 4 into 2, 8, 5. 5 times of n minus 1 by 4 is equal to 525. So from this, n into n minus 1 is equal to 105, 105 into 4. 105 into 4. Now n into n minus 1 is equal to, we are going to write this one as 20 into 21. 20 into 21. That is, n is equal to 21. The total number of terms in the given sequence is 21. N is equal to 21. Now, what they are asking, see there, from the n is equal to 21, we are able to calculate A1. A1 is equal to 21 minus 1 is equal to 20. Now, S17 they are asking, S17 is equal to 17 upon 2 into 2 into A 20 plus n minus 1 20 into D minus 3 by 4. Now we try to simplify this. 17 by 2 into 40 into, this is 40 minus 15. 40 minus 5 minus 3 by 4, n minus 1, n minus 1 is fine. 20 into minus 3 by 4, 40 minus 15, that is 17 by 2. 17 by 2 is equal to, you calculate children, by calculating we get that as 5 fourths. This is 3 is equal to, this is a total 17 terms they are asking. Careful, total 17 terms they are asking, not the 20 terms, only 17 terms they asked here. So it is 16. 4 fourths cancelled, this is 12. Now 17 by 2 into 28. By simplifying this one, we get that 238. 238. So option B is right. Option B is right. Related to the AP only, it is just common difference. Instead of the common difference, they are given A2 minus A1, and the relation between the first and last term is given, and sum of the n terms is given. Just they asked for the sum of the 17 terms in that series. So the problem is simple, level is easy. Next one. Number of matrices A of order 3 by 2 such that all of its elements are from the set minus 2 comma minus 1 comma 0 comma 1 comma 2 such that trace of A into transpose of A is 5 is equal to number of matrices of A order 3 by 2 they are asking, and the elements can be selected from the set minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So the problem is related to the matrices as well as permutations and combinations. Every year this type of problems asked in the mains level, and it is also a regular problem. But here they asked for the rectangular matrix A. Rectangular matrix A. A is the rectangular matrix. It is 3 by 2 order matrix. That is, we start with 3 by 2 order matrix. We are writing the 3 by 2 order matrix. That is, let A is equal to 3 by 2 order matrix means you know that 3 rows and 2 columns. A, B, C, D, E, F. I consider 3 by 2 matrix. 3 rows and 2 columns. Now from this transpose matrix, the transpose of A. The transpose of A means how do we get the transpose matrix? You know that the rows can be written as in the columns. That is, transpose of A is equal to, it is 2 by 3 order matrix. So it becomes as A, B, C, D, E, F. This is the transpose of A. Now the product, the trace of the product. Trace means we know that the sum of the elements of the matrix is called as trace. So first we try to multiply that A into transpose of A. A into transpose of A is equal to first matrix A, B, C, D, E, F into A, B, C, D, E, F. Now for the trace purpose, we want only the diagonal matrix. The sum of the diagonal, we want only the diagonal elements. The sum of the diagonal elements is the trace of the matrix. So the diagonal element, the first element becomes as A square plus D square. We don't want the remaining two elements. Next, in the second row, the first element we don't want. We want the second element. It becomes as B square plus E square. We don't want the third element. And in third row, first two elements we don't want. And the third element becomes as C square plus F square. Now trace is represented by or denoted by TR. Trace of A into transpose of A is equal to A square plus D square plus B square plus E square plus C square plus F square. This trace is given as 5. The trace is given as 5. So to get the 5, the sum of the elements, the sum of these 6 elements is equal to 5. Now here onwards we are applying the permutations and combinations. Now observe the matrix A. A is equal to column wise A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 elements are there. Out of these 6 elements, how do we get the 5? That is such that A square plus B square plus C square plus D square plus E square plus F square is equal to 5. The possibilities we are going to write the matrices. In this we are using the cases again. That is case 1. Case 1. The sum of the 6 elements is 5. The possibilities are the elements can be taken from the set -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. The set you observe there, the given set is, this is the given set -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So to get the sum of the squares of the 6 elements is equal to 5. The possibilities I am going to write. The possibilities means when we are getting 5, the sum of the squares of the 6 elements. Already you are very familiar with that method. So suppose I am going to fill any 5 elements with 1 or minus ones. That is, first I am choosing 5 elements from the 6 blanks. I consider A matrix as by using 6 blanks. A is a blank like that. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now to get the trace, that is A square plus B square plus C square plus E square plus F square is equal to 5. First we are choosing 5 positions. 5 positions out of 6 positions, 5 positions I am choosing in 6C5 ways. These 6C5 can be filled with 5 ones. That is, in this case I am using 5 ones, 5 ones, only 5 ones and 1 0. 5 ones and 1 0. So to get the 5 ones and 1 0, I am choosing 5 elements positions in 6 elements position in 6C5 ways, and each position can be filled with either 1 or -1. That is, it can be done in 2 ways, and every 6C5 into the selected element, selected element position can be filled with everyone with 2 ways. That is, it can be done in 2 to the power of 5 ways. That is, this is equal to 6 into 2 to the power of 5. That is equal to 6 into 2 to the power of 5 is 32. This is equal to 192. In this case, 192 matrices. That is, the matrices which are having the order 3 by 2 such that the trace of A into transpose of A is equal to 5 by using 1 or minus 1. By using 1 or minus 1 and 0, how many matrices we are forming means 192 matrix. Next, case 2. To get the sum of the elements, sum of the squares of the elements of the 5, I am using 4, 1, 0, 0, 0 and 0. That is 6 elements. 6 elements. One of the element square is 4 and one of the element square is 1 and all the remaining 4 elements I am taking as zeros. In this case, how many possibilities are there means to get the 4, the square of the element 4, we have the 2 possibilities, either 2 or minus 2. 2 square is 4 or minus 2 whole square is also 4. That is, first we are choosing out of 6 one place of the element, one place. That is, it can be done in 6C1 and it can be filled in 2 ways. It can be filled in 2 ways. That is, either we can fill that one with plus 2 or minus 2. Next, to get the one from the remaining 5 places, I am choosing one place in 5C1 ways and it can be filled in again either 1 or minus 1. That is, it can be filled in 2 ways and the remaining 4 elements places can be filled with 4 zeros in one way. Now, in this case, the total number of matrices becomes as 6 into 5 into 2 square. That is equal to 120. Therefore, total number of matrices is equal to 312. 312. The total number of matrices are 312. So, option B is correct. Option B is correct. So, it is a regular model problem, but in regular they may be asked the problem related with the square matrix, but differently they asked here the rectangular matrix. A is the rectangular matrix, but finally A into transpose of trace means definitely trace is defined for the square matrix. So, definitely A into transpose of A is a square matrix related to the permutations and combinations and matrices. The problem is lengthy but regular model. Next one. Out of 100 bulbs, 10 are defective and 90 are non-defective. If the probability of finding 7 defective bulbs out of 8 draws with replacement is k by 10 to the power of 8, then the value of k they are asking. The problem is related to the probability and there are 100 bulbs. Out of 100 bulbs, 10 are defective and 90 are non-defective. It is a sample. It is a sample of 100 bulbs and 10 are defective and 90 are non-defective. If the probability of finding 7 defective bulbs out of 8 draws, so there they drawn 8 bulbs. Out of 8 bulbs, 7 are defective, where the drawing can be done by using the replacement. The probability of getting 7 defective bulbs is k by 10 to the power of 8. Then the value of k they are asking. Now here, every bulb, suppose if you consider the bulb may be defective or non-defective. So there is a chance. The measurement of the chance is the probability here. So out of 100 bulbs, 10 are defective, 90 are defective means for each bulb we are going to calculate. Here the success is getting the defective bulb. Here the success is getting the defective bulb because they are given the probability of finding 7 defective bulbs. That is the success probability here. So out of 100 bulbs, 10 are defective. The success probability I am going to represent as P. P is equal to 10 upon 100. Total 100 is equal to 1 by 10. Now Q getting non-defective bulb. It is 90 by 100 is equal to 9 by 10. So the success to get the non-defective bulb, defective bulb, success here defective bulb. To get the defective bulb, the probability is 1 by 10 and to get the non-defective bulb, probability is 9 by 10. Now total 8 draws. So we are going to taking 8 draws. 8 times we are performing the experiment here. That is n is equal to 8. N is equal to 8. And every experiment, or here in this case the sample contains only 8. Out of 8, 7 are the defective bulbs. So here every trial is having success and failure. That's why it is known as the Bernoulli trial. So for the Bernoulli trials, we are defining the binomial probabilities. The binomial probabilities are probability of x is equal to r is equal to NCR p to the power of here the success is important. Here to get the success is defective bulb. The success is the defective bulb. That's why here p to the power of r into q to the power of n minus r. Now this is equal to n is equal to 8, 8CR. The success means getting the defective bulb probability is 1 by 10 whole to the power of r, and q is 9 by 10 whole to the power of 8 minus r. Now this is equal to 8CR 9 to the power of 8 minus r upon 10 to the power of 8. That is probability of getting x is equal to r defective bulbs. But total defective bulbs here we want 7. That's why we want probability of x is equal to 7. Probability of x is equal to 7 is equal to 8C7 9 to the power of 8 minus 7 upon 10 to the power of 8. Now this one is given. Probability of getting 7 defective bulbs is given as k upon 10 to the power of 8. K upon 10 to the power of 8 is equal to 8C7 is 8 into 9 by 10 to the power of 8. So 10 to the power of 8, 10 to the power of 8 gets cancelled. K is equal to 72. K is equal to 72. The value of K is 72. Problem is simple, but need to identify the sample. The sample contains the 100 bulbs, total 100 bulbs. To get the success probability, here the success is getting a defective bulb. It is very important to find the success probability and failure probability, and total number of elements or the total number of trials here. N is equal to 8 trials. N is equal to 8 trials. Out of 8 trials, 7 trials are defective and only 1 is the non-defective. Answer is 72. Next. Let a circle passes through points A minus root 2 alpha comma 0, B 0 comma root 3 beta, and O 0 comma 0 such that its radius is 4. Then the radius of locus of centroid of triangle OAB. The problem is related to the circles and basic problem and combining with the triangle concept also. So first of all, observing the points here. Observing the points A, B and O. A lies on x-axis, B lies on y-axis and the origin. That's why it is very clear triangle OAB is a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle, and in this right angle triangle AB is the diameter. In right angle triangle, the midpoint of the hypotenuse, the midpoint of the hypotenuse is the center of the circumcircle. Center of the circumcircle. That's why here AB is hypotenuse like this one. OAB like this one. Now the radius of circumcircle of right angle triangle is half of R. R is equal to radius. Radius of circumcircle of triangle OAB is 1 by 2 times of AB. 1 by 2 times of AB. Now from this 2R is equal to AB, or 4R square is equal to, directly here we are writing 2 alpha square plus 3 beta square. Whereas given that R is equal to 4. So from this 2 alpha square plus 3 beta square is equal to 64. This is one condition. Now they asked for the locus of centroid of triangle OAB. Centroid formula we know that. Centroid is equal to the average of x coordinates comma the average of y coordinates of the vertices. So centroid I consider as x comma y. X comma y is equal to average of the x coordinates. Average of the x coordinates here minus root 2 times of alpha by 3, comma, the average of y coordinates is root 3 beta by 3. Now from this we get root 2 alpha minus root 2 alpha is equal to 3x, and root 3 beta is equal to 3y. Substitute these two in the above equation, we get the locus. Locus is here 2 alpha square. 2 alpha square means here 9x square plus 3 beta square means root 3 beta is equal to 3y. So 3 beta square is equal to 9y square is equal to 64. Is equal to 64. Substitute in this equation. Now here x square plus y square is equal to 64 by 9. It is 8 by 3 whole square. It represents an equation of circle. It represents an equation of circle whose radius is 8 by 3. So the radius of locus of centroid of the triangle OAB is 8 by 3. 8 by 3. Problem is related to the geometry, and simple problem it is also. Thank you.
Let's see some other questions from mathematics. Let's see some other questions from mathematics. Let's see some other questions from mathematics.
We have few more questions from mathematics, and let us go to the first question here. It is from trigonometry. So this is second question from trigonometry. Once again, an easy question. So yeah, so it is given that cot theta is equal to 5 by 12. Cot theta is equal to 5 by 12 is the information given here. Guys, you have to take care of this thing very seriously, because at the end we might require to see, because if you see the options, no, there are plus minus, okay, now, which clearly indicates this has something to do with the theta lying in which quadrant. So the theta lies in third quadrant, theta belongs to quadrant 3. Okay, so then we'll jump on to the expression cos theta, something like this. So guys, can you see here cos 7 theta? I'm going to write this as cos 7 theta sine 13 theta by 2, and the second part of it minus sine 7 theta cos 13 theta by 2. I'm just multiplying and it is splitting. So it is given slightly hidden, but it is still visible. Okay, plus cos 7 theta cos 13 theta by 2 plus sine 7 theta sine 13 theta by 2. So guys, what is this one? Cos A sine B minus sine A cos B, which is sine A minus B 13 theta by 2 minus 7 theta plus cos A cos B plus sine A sine B is 7 theta minus 13 theta by 2. So guys, this will be cos theta by 2 minus sine theta by 2. So now to find, so what is given here? Cot theta. So to find this one, I'm going to take this as some y, and I'm going to square it on both sides. And remember, I am interested to find the value of y. So if I square it on both sides, I'm going to get 1 minus sine theta is equal to y square. Okay, so let me see what is sine theta. Cot theta is 5 by 12. So this is theta, this is 5, and this is 12, and then this should be 13. So by Pythagoras theorem, I can check that it is as 13. And what will be sine theta from this one? Sine theta is equal to 12 by 13. Guys, if you take sine theta is 12 by 13, then you are going to lose 5 marks from this one. Not 1 mark, you are going to lose the 4 marks which you are supposed to get, and then negative as well. Because it is clearly indicated that theta belongs to pi to 3 pi by 2. So sine theta in third quadrant is negative. So sine theta is equal to minus 12 by 3. So y square equal to 1 plus 12 by 30, which is 25 by 30. So y square is equal to 25 by 13, and y has to be plus or minus 5 by root 30. But guys, both the options are available, so you have to see what value will be y. So who is y here? Cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2. So if theta belongs to pi to 3 pi by 2, then theta by 2 lies in pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Okay, which is in second quadrant. Okay, second quadrant cos is negative, sin is positive, so this total value is going to be negative. So what is y value? Y is equal to minus 5 by root 30, so which is option 3. So looks like a very easy question, but if you don't pay attention to the details, you are going to lose marks in this question definitely. Okay, yeah, we'll move on to next question. Next question is from complex numbers. This is the first question from complex numbers today, and it is given there are two equations in front of us involving modulus of complex numbers. So we'll just recollect 2 points here. Mod z minus a is equal to mod z minus b. Guys, locus of locus of z is perpendicular bisector of A and B. Okay, so clearly from the first equation one should identify that the locus of z is a straight line, basically a perpendicular bisector. This is 0 comma 2, this is 0 comma 6, and the perpendicular bisector should be y is equal to 4. 6 plus 2 by 2, which means real imaginary part on this line will always be 4. Okay, now I'm going to substitute that in second equation. So second equation, z is equal to, I'm going to substitute x plus 4i. So substitute this in second equation, you're going to get an equation something like this: x minus 8 whole square modulus plus 4i plus 2i, which is 6i whose square is 6 into 25, because this square is 25, is equal to 9 into x square plus what is the imaginary part? 4 plus 2, 6 square. That's it, guys. You have to just solve the quadratic equation given here. So, and what is he asking us to find? The complex number w which satisfy both the equation, which means basically if you interpret it in geometry, is asking us to find intersection points of a line and a circle, and is asking us to find if you take those two complex numbers are x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, what he is asking us to find is x1 square plus x2 square plus y1 square plus y2 square. Okay, so already we know these values: y1 square plus y2 square. Y1 square y2 square is 16 plus 16, it is 32, and what we have to find is this value. So basically from the quadratic equation you don't have to find out the roots, you just have to find x1 square plus x2 square. So this will be 25x square minus 25 into 16, 400x, plus 36 plus 64 is 100, so 2500 is equal to 9x square plus 9 into 36. Yes, 9 into 36 is 324. 270 plus 54, 324. So if I solve this quadratic equation, I'm going to get 16x square minus 400x plus 2500 minus 324, which is 2176 equal to 0. Now taking 16 common, I'm going to get x square minus 25 plus, so what I'm going to get here is 16 2176 16 136, yeah, 136 equal to 0. So x1 and x2 are roots of this quadratic equation. Now what I'm going to find, what I'm trying to find will be either you can find out the roots of the quadratic equation if you are able to do so, or else x1 square plus x2 square is equal to x1 plus x2 square minus 2x1 x2, which is 625 minus this is 272. So 675 minus 272, 272. This will be 3 625, and this will be 35 353, and then plus we have to add 32 here, so 32. So this we are going to get 385. So 385 is the answer. So guys, what is the important thing you have to look out for is the locus. First equation, you don't have to spend too much time by substituting z is equal to xy and finding the locus. If you know that the locus of the complex number which satisfies the first equation, you can speed up the things. Okay, so that's the important point. And then it involves basic algebra to solve quadratic. Okay, yeah, we'll move on to the next question. Next question is from three-dimensional geometry. It's talking about the equation of line perpendicular to other things as well. So guys, here a line passing through the point 1 comma 1 comma 1, which is perpendicular to both lines. Guys, any line perpendicular to both lines, okay, will be along which direction? So this is the main concept involved here. So whenever you have to find equation of a line in three-dimensional geometry, you need a point and then dr's of the direction of the lines. Okay, so for that direction of the line, dr's of a line which is perpendicular to given both lines, what do you have to do? Once again, a very fundamental concept here. Do the cross product of both vectors here, I, j, k, 1, 1, 0 and 4, 1, 1. So this will give me dr's of this line, the required line. So I cap minus 1 into 1 minus j cap plus k into minus 3k cap. So dr's of new line, dr's of L are 1 or minus 1, 1 and 3. So now I can write equation L, which is passing through a point x minus 1 by minus 1, passing through this point 1 comma 1 comma 1, y minus 1 by 1, z minus 1 by 3. Okay, now guys, it is given that this line intersects the yz plane. So guys, what is the equation of yz plane? X is equal to 0. So if I take a point here, I'm going to get minus lambda plus 1, lambda plus 1, 3 lambda plus 1. Now since L intersects plane yz at q, which implies this has to be 0, minus lambda plus 1 equal to 0, which implies lambda is equal to 1. So guys, I am going to get the coordinates of q. Q will be 0, 2, 4. Now once again, another line parallel to L and passing through S, parallel to L with the same drs. What are the drs of the line? So the new line is x minus 1 by minus 1, y minus 0 by 1, z plus 1 by 3. Now it's telling this line intersects another plane at a point R. Then the square of the area of the parallelogram PQRS. Guys, what is given that PQRS, PQRS. So what is P? 1, 1, 1. And what are the coordinates of Q? 0, 2, 4. And what is S? S coordinates are given 1, 0, minus. So guys, now you need the area. So we already know the area. How to find the area? In a parallelogram, what is the area? PQ cross PS. PQ cross PS. So let me first of all find what is PQ. PQ bar is equal to minus I cap plus j cap plus 3k cap, and PS bar is equal to j cap plus 2k cap. So now to get the area of the parallelogram, I am going to do the cross product of those both vectors I, j, k, and minus 1, 1, 3, minus 1, 1, 3, and 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So I am going to get 2 minus 3 minus I cap and plus 2j cap and minus k cap. Okay, so this magnitude will be the area, which is root 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is root 6. So guys, he is asking us to find the area, square of the area. Okay, so root 6 whole square will be equal to 6. So this will be the area of the parallelogram PQRS. So answer should be 6 for this question. Okay, the concept involved here is simply the equation of a line. Now if you know how to find equation of a line and then line intersecting plane, you could easily solve this question. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Yeah, so once again this question is from binomial theorem. By looking at this question, one can definitely, you can see something strange about the denominators available in this summation of each and every term. If you observe the denominators, 25 and 1 factorial, if you write it as 1 factorial, 26, 23 plus 3, 26, 21 plus 5, 26. So if S is equal to 25 factorial into 1 factorial plus 23 factorial into 3 factorial, 21 factorial into 5 factorial, so on. 13 terms, 13 terms, it will go on. So guys, can I multiply 26 factorial on both sides? Because the moment I saw the sum of the factorials being 26, then I got an idea that I can convert that into NCR, which is n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial, right? So I'm going to multiply 26 factorial on both sides, which gives me 26 factorial by 25 factorial into 1 factorial, 26 factorial by 23 factorial into 3 factorial, and so on. Now tell me what is this thing? This thing is going to be 26C1, 26C2, C3, and so on. 13 terms, right? So 26C25. Okay, this is 26 factorial into S. Now guys, what is this? Okay, again, once again, basic summation. NC1 odd coefficients. When you have odd coefficient, it is going to be 2 power 26 minus 1, 2 power 25. So 26 factorial into S is equal to 2 power 25. What is S? 2 power 25 by 26 factorial. Okay, so now what is he asking us to find? 13 into S. 13 into 2 power 25 by 26 factorial. So I will write this 25 factorial into 26. Now this to here, and some more additional information might have given regarding this, because you can still leave it as 26 factorial as well. But okay, again you have to multiply. There is 13 here, 13 has to be cancelled, right? No issues with this point. So 2 power 25 by 2 will be 2 power 24 by 25 factorial. So now what is in the place of alpha? 24. What is in the place of beta? 25. So what is the value of alpha plus beta? 49. Again, the basics involved here are binomial coefficient, a very basic formula, NCR, and then summation of binomial coefficients. NC1 plus NC3 so on is equal to 2 power n minus 1. Okay, yeah, now we can go to the next question, which is area under the curve. Again, stick to only parabola and straight line. So most of you should have attempted this question, because it is involving two curves which are parabola and straight line. So let us talk about area A1. So if I have to sketch the curve, y is equal to x square plus 2 is 2 units above origin, and then there is a line x plus y is equal to 8. This is x plus y is equal to 8. Now, and y axis. So guys, so this is the area under the line, the curve, and y axis. So how do you find this area? You need to find intersection points 0 to this particular point. What is this point? You need to find, solve x plus y is equal to 8, y is equal to x square plus 2. So what I am going to get here, you are going to equate both values. 8 minus x is equal to x square plus 2. So x square plus x minus 6 equal to 0, and x plus 3 into x minus 2 equal to 0. So what is this point? This point is 2. So 0 to 2 straight line, which is 8 minus x minus the parabola x square plus 2. So 0 to 2, 8 minus 2 is 6 minus x square dx. Now if we integrate this one, 6x minus x square by 2 minus x cube by 3 from 0 to 2. 12 minus 2 minus 8 by 3. So this is going to be 22 by 3. This is A1. Okay. And what about A2? A2 is the area enclosed between the same parabola x square plus 2, and there is another parabola y square equal to x, this one, and then the line x is equal to 2, x equal to 2, and y axis. So guys, we are looking for this area. Okay, so A2 will be equal to integration 0 to 2, integration 0 to 2 upper curve x square plus 2 minus lower curve being root x. So if you integrate this one, x cube by 3 plus 2x minus 2 by 3 into x power 3 by 2. Limits from 0 to 2. So 8 by 3 plus 4 minus 8 by 2 by 3 2 root 2. So 8 by 3 plus 4 minus 4 root 2 by 3. So this is going to be 20 by 3 minus 4 root 2 by 3. This is A2. Now what is asked in the question is to find A1 minus A2. A1 is 22 by 3. A1 minus A2 minus 20 by 3 plus 4 root 2 by 3. So this should be 2 plus 4 root 2 by 3. So again, the areas, the curves involved in this question are primarily the parabolas. So if you have an idea how to solve parabola in straight line, okay, and the area enclosed by parabola with x-axis or the area bounded by multiple curves, one can easily solve this particular question. Okay, we'll move on to next question. Next question is about limits and continuity. Okay, so here the function is said to be continuous at x is equal to 0. So if the function is said to be continuous at x is equal to 0, then f of 0 should be equal to limit x tends to 0 e power x tan x minus x plus ln secant x plus tan x minus x by tan x minus x. So guys, I can split the limit here because when I split it, I'm going to get a finite value. So I can definitely split the limit here. So e power 0 is 1 and limit x tends to 0 ln secant x plus tan x minus x by tan x minus x. Now guys, this is 0 by 0 limit. Okay, secant x plus tan x is 0 by 0 limit. So I can differentiate once using L'Hopital rule, 1 plus limit x tends to 0. If I differentiate ln secant x plus tan x, it is going to be secant x minus 1 by secant square x minus 1 a square minus b square. This is numerator is a minus b, denominator is a square minus b square. If you cancel it out, you have 1 by secant x plus 1, and once you put the limit, it is going to be 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1, which is 2. 1 by 1 plus 2. 1 plus 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2 will be 3 by 2. So the limit value will be 3 by 2. Once again, an easy question from limits and continuity. Okay, basic limit. If you try to understand the fundamentals of limit, when to add, when to subtract, when you can split up the limits, One can easily solve this question just by using L'Hopital rule. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Let's move to physics.
Hello students, so we are back with the discussion of 24th Gen morning session paper discussion. So we are going to discuss some physics questions with you. So the first question that we are observing here is a spring constant question. They are providing that there is a spring of 15 Newton per meter. It is cut in the ratio 3:1. We need to find the spring constant of the smaller length of the spring thus formed. So in this question we have a spring which has some spring constant given as k. We are cutting this spring in two parts. The ratio of lengths of these two parts is 3:1. That means the total length we are cutting in 4 parts, and the length of this bigger part should be 3l/4 and length of the smaller part should be equal to l/4. We must be knowing from our from our reading from NLM that spring constant is inversely proportional to length of the spring. Hence, original spring, which has spring constant of 15 units, it should be proportional to its original length L. The new spring constant that they are asking in the question should be proportional to its length, which is L/4. If we take the ratio of these two expressions, so k by 15 should be equal to 1 by L divided by L/4, which is 4. Hence, k should be equal to 60 Newton per meter, which is our fourth option. Let's proceed to the next question. The next question is a theoretical one. It is based on properties of electromagnetic wave. Here they are giving us two columns. They are saying to match the column 1 with the origin of this kind of EM waves. The column 1 is, first option is X-rays. We know X-rays are produced in Coolidge tube in which high energy electrons are bombarding heavy metal target metal plates. So the A option should match with the option S. If we go by option elimination method, A is matching with S in option 2, 3, 4. Let's see some other options as well. B, which is infrared rays, we know it is produced when high energetic particles are vibrating. Hot bodies produces their radiations in basically infrared region. So B should match with option P. The B is matching with P in option second and option third. If I go with microwave, microwave can be produced by special diodes called gun diodes or magnetrons, which are special devices which produce microwave. So it should match with option S, option R. So if I look at the options, I have second option matching C with R. Now if I go with radio waves, radio waves are produced due to oscillating currents in antenna, hence D should match with option Q. If I look at the options, option second is the correct option. Let's go to next one. Next question is again a easy question from AC circuits. The question is providing us reactance of different elements connected in series LCR circuit, and they are asking us to find the power factor. The power factor of series LCR circuit, we know it is given by R by Z, where Z is the total impedance of the circuit. The value of resistance in the question is easily visible. It is 60 ohms divided by Z of the circuit. It is going to be R square, which is 60 square, plus XL minus XC, which is 70 minus 150 square. If you solve this, we are getting 60 by 100, or if you solve this, we are going to get 3 by 5. Let's go to next question. The next question is again an easy question, and as every other JEE Main shift is asking question on potentiometer, this is again a question based on potentiometer or meter bridge. The question here is saying that initially the bridge is balanced. That means the ratio of the length up to point P, let's say that is L1, and the ratio of P to the other end, that is let's say L2, they should be in ratio of 2:1. So L1 by L2 should be 2:3. The second resistance is 3. The total length of meter bridge wire is 100 centimeter. So 100 centimeter has to be divided in 2:3 ratio. So this length should be 40 and 60 centimeters. Now they are saying that the resistance of 3 ohm is now shunted or connected parallel with a resistor R. So in 3 ohm we are connecting a resistor R in parallel, which will reduce its resistance. Because the resistance is going to reduce, the point P should shift toward the smaller resistor. Hence the length from point A to P should increase and P to B should decrease. So new AP length has to be initial length plus the shift. The question is saying the shift, it is 22.5 centimeter, and P to B length, it should be original length minus 22.5 centimeter. The ratio of resistor, which is 2, and the second resistor is going to be parallel combination of 3 and R, which is 3R upon 3 plus R. This ratio should be equal to 40 plus 22.5 divided by 60 minus 22.5. If we solve this expression, we are going to get value of R as 2 ohm. Wrongly, I have both option 1 and option 2 printed as 2 ohm, but 2 ohm is the correct option. And now we can look for the 2 ohm out of 4 correct options. Let's go for the next question. Next question is again a very easy question if we go and approach this question with very basic ideas. A hydrogen-like atom ratio of speed in two orbit is 3:2. The speed ratio in two orbit is given. They are asking energy ratio. We know the total energy of electron in an atom is sum of its kinetic energy and potential energy. And for nucleus having attraction force, Coulombic attraction force, the kinetic energy and potential energy are proportional. So the total energy is proportional to kinetic energy, and kinetic energy, total energy is proportional to kinetic energy, and kinetic energy is proportional to speed square of the particle. It is half mv square, so speed square of the particle. They are already providing us with the ratio of the speed, and they are asking ratio of energy. It has to be square of the ratio of speeds given, v1 by v2 whole square. So v1 by v2 is 3 by 2, whole square of that should be 9 by 4. Hence option second is the correct option. Let's go to the next question. Next question is again a circuit question. In this, they are telling us there is a voltmeter of resistance 400 ohm which is connected with a 100 ohm resistor. This circuit, we have a 9 volt of battery. The question is asking you to find the reading of the voltmeter. The reading of voltmeter should be the potential drop which is across this voltmeter or 100 ohm resistor. The 400 ohm voltmeter and 100 ohm resistor, they are in parallel. So we need to find their equivalent resistor. So that equivalent resistor will be 400 into 100 divided by 400 plus 100. If you solve this, you are getting 80 ohms. Hence, the circuit have a resistor of 80 ohm, which is a combination of voltmeter resistance and the 100 ohm resistor, and 100 ohm resistor connected in series with this. And there is a 9 volt battery across here. We know in a series circuit, the current is same and potential drop is proportional to resistance. So potential drop across 80 ohm and potential drop across 100 ohm, V1 and V2, they should be in ratio of resistance which is 80 by 100. And total sum of these two is 9 volt. You can see here, this is going to be 8:1. Sorry, 8:10 or 4 by 5. So 9 volt we have to divide in ratio of 4:5. 9 if you divide in the ratio of 4:5, you will get 9 volt, you will get 4 volt and 5 volt. Hence the potential drop across this voltmeter should be 4 volt. This concludes our set of questions. Thank you.
Now moving to chemistry.
Hi students, today we are going to discuss 24th shift 1 chemistry exam questions. Now you see students, first question is from colligative properties. They asked to find out osmotic pressure of the solution. There are two solutes A and B is 0.3 grams and 0.9 grams respectively, having the molar masses 30 grams per mole and 90 grams per mole respectively, which are present in 100 ml solution. Then we have to calculate osmotic pressure at 300 kelvins. They have given one more hint, 1/2 factor for the given solutes is I equal to 1. So weight of A is equal to 0.3 grams. The number of moles of A 0.3 by 30, that is 0.01 mole, and given that weight of B is 0.9 grams, that is number of moles of B is 0.9 by 90, that is again 0.01 mole. The total number of moles of the solute is
0.02 moles, which are present in 100 ml solution. That is, volume of the solution is 0.1 liter. Then the concentration of the solution is number of moles by volume of the solution, that is 0.02 by 0.1. That means 0.2 moles per liter is the concentration of the solution. Now we have to calculate osmotic pressure. According to that osmotic pressure formula, pi equal to I into concentration into S into T. Yes, that is a solubility factor, that is a T is the temperature, I given as 1, concentration is 0.2 moles per liter, S value that is 0.0821 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin, since they given in the question as atmosphere, and temperature 300 kelvins. After that the value we got that 4.925, that means the nearly answer 5 is the correct answer for the given question. Now let us go for the next question, students. Yeah, second question is from organic chemistry, that is match list 1 and list 2. They given some common names for the halides and match it. Vinyl halide. Vinyl halide is a sp2 carbon attached chlorine. Allyl halide, sp2 attached sp3 carbon having the chlorine. Benzyl halide, phenyl attached sp3 carbon with halogen. Aryl halide, halogen directly attached to benzene. Then you consider that according to the given options, vinyl halide is 1, allyl halide is 2, benzyl halide is 3, aryl halide is 4. Therefore, for the given question, the correct answer is 2. Now let us go for the next question, students. Yeah, again it is also from organic chemistry. The correct order of stability of the following diazonium ions. Actually, diazonium ion, let us see. In this benzene diazonium ion, the positive charge is appeared on nitrogen. It's like a electron deficient. That means those groups are the atom which are attached to the benzene at ortho or para having electron donating power, they increases the stability. So according to the given options, that OCH3 is a plus M group and CN is a minus M group and NO2 is also minus M group. So diazonium salt stability depends upon electron donating groups. Therefore, OCH3 is the plus M group, which increases the stability of diazonium salt, and cyanide and nitro groups decreases the stability of diazonium ion. So according to the given option, D is the most stable, and latter C, it doesn't have any withdrawing group. And next, among B and A, the more minus M affecting group is A. That's why least stabilizing one, that is A, and that is B is the cyanide. So D, C, B, A is the correct answer for the given question which was present at here. Therefore, the correct answer is 1. Now let us go for the next question. Yes, it is also from organic chemistry and is a mixed example. Let us see a compound A which on SnCl to HCl followed by hydrolysis. We will get B, that is a Stephen reaction followed by strong oxidizing agent KMNO for oxidation, which causes that aldehyde group present in it into acid, followed by chlorine in the presence of phosphorus. It means that it is the HVZ reaction. So final product as one chiral center is intimating you. Therefore, what is the structure of A? So such type of questions, whenever they given, we have to go from options to the questions. Take first option. Apply the given scheme of analysis. Yeah, first one, SnCl to HCl followed by hydrolysis, which causes cyanide into aldehyde, followed by KMnO4 H plus. That means strong oxidizing agent causes aldehyde into carboxylic acid, followed by chlorine in the presence of phosphorus. That is a HVZ reaction which do alpha halogenation, which makes the compound into one new chiral center. So for the given question, the correct option is A. No other option matches to the given scheme of analysis. Now go for the next question. Which of the following compound contain 3 unpaired electrons? Take the first option, V2O5. Here, oxidation state of vanadium is +5. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, that is D3S2. Vanadium +5, the total number of d electrons are 0. 0 unpaired electron is present. Take the second option, TiF6 -3. Here, titanium charge is +3. Titanium, that is scandium, titanium, D2S2. Titanium +3 as 1 unpaired electron. Therefore, option 2 is also not correct. Go for the third option, COF6 -4. Here, cobalt charge is +2. Cobalt 27, configuration D7S2. Here, cobalt +2, that is D7. According to the configuration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, there are 3 unpaired electrons in the complex hexafluorido-cobalt-8 2. So the correct option for the given question is 3. Now go for the next question, students. Yes, which of the following compound will give positive Tollens reagent test? Generally, all aldehydes can give positive Tollens test, which forms silver mirror with the all aldehydes, either aliphatic as well as aromatic. So option C must be correct. And ketones does not perform Tollens reagent positive test. So option D we can avoid. Among that A and B, generally this was wrongly printed. Actually, the given question is cyclic hemiacetal, option A, which was mismatched here. So option A, that is cyclic hemiacetal, was given in the basic medium, especially our reagent silver ammonical nitrate, which makes that ring into aldehyde. Therefore, cyclic hemiacetal also can give positive Tollens test. Therefore, option A and C correct for the given question. So this is not the correct one. This was the correct one given for this question. Therefore, A and C is the correct answer, students. Thank you.
Now moving to chemistry.
Hello students, let me introduce myself. I am Rishabh sir, Senior Chemistry Faculty, and today I am going to discuss Shift 1 paper. So let's start with the questions. The first question in front of us is, they have given two reactions, K2Cr2O7 with I- in acidic medium is giving us I2. They have said that X is number of moles of electron exchanged per mole of I2. And second reaction is K2Cr2O7 with S2 negative giving us sulfur, and Y is moles of electron exchanged per mole of sulfur. So we can balance this reaction. If you go for the first reaction, it is I minus getting converted to I2. So if you balance this reaction, we'll get 2I minus plus I2 giving us 2 electron. So what we can say is, for 1 mole of iodine, 2 moles of electrons are exchanged, which means X will be equal to 2. Same way, if you go for second reaction, S2 minus is becoming sulfur. If you balance this reaction, it will be S plus 2 electron. So over here also we can see that per mole of sulfur, there are 2 moles of electrons exchanged, which means Y will also be equal to 2. So x over here is 2, y over here is 2. They're asking what is x plus y. So 2 plus 2 will be 4. So correct answer for this question is option 3. Let's move. This question basically is based on balancing of redox reaction. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is from chemical bonding. It is asking us the hybridization and shape of the molecule. So first molecule is IF3. Now in case of IF3, we can see that there are 3 fluorine. It means it will be forming 3 sigma bond, and iodine has total 7 valence electron, out of which 3 are used for bond formation. It means 4 electrons are left, and those 4 electrons will form 2 lone pair. So 3 sigma bond and 2 lone pair are there. It means the steric number is 5, which means hybridization will be sp3d. If you draw the structure, the structure of the molecule is this: 3 sigma bond and 2 lone pair. So this shape is known as T shape. This shape is T shape. So option A, this A will become 2. This A will become 2. Next is IF5. If you see IF5 over here, 5 fluorine atoms are present. It means there are total 5 sigma bond. There are total 7 valence electrons with iodine, out of which 5 are forming the sigma bond. It means 2 electrons are left, which will make 1 lone pair. So steric number over here will be 6, and if steric number is 6, it will have sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization with 1 lone pair. The arrangement will look something like this. The arrangement will look something like this, and this shape will be known as square pyramidal shape. This shape is square pyramidal shape. This shape is square pyramidal. It means B will be fourth one. Next one is IF7. In case of IF7, we can see there are total 7 sigma bond because of 7 fluorine, and there will be how many lone pairs? So iodine has 7 valence electron, and all the 7 electrons are used in bond formation. It means we'll be left with 0 lone pair. So steric number is 7. 7 means sp3d3 hybridization. Hybridization is sp3d3. It means geometry of this molecule will be pentagonal bipyramidal. Geometry of this molecule will be pentagonal bipyramidal. So let me write over here. It is pentagonal bipyramidal. Pentagonal bipyramidal means it will be option 1. So A is 2, B is 4, C is 1. So it has to be option 3. And ClO4 minus, if you see, ClO4 minus will have sp3 hybridization. If hybridization is sp3, so geometry of the molecule will be tetrahedral. So the answer for this question is option 3. Let's move to the next question. The next question is regarding the stability of alkenes. So they have given us 4 molecules, and they're asking us to arrange in the order of their stability. So we know stability of alkenes over here will be directly proportional to the number of alpha hydrogen, or we can say that alkene will be stabilized by hyperconjugation, and more the number of hyperconjugating structures or more the number of alpha hydrogen, more will be the stability of the alkene. So in the first compound we will have total 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. There are total 12 alpha hydrogens. In second molecule there is 3 plus 3 plus 3. That is total 9 alpha hydrogen, which means one is more stable than 2. Now between 3 and 4, if you see, 3 has total 6 alpha hydrogen, 4 is also having total 6 alpha hydrogen. Now how to differentiate between 3 and 4? How to find which is more stable? So we know that transalkene is more stable. Transalkene is more stable than cisalkene. transalkane is more stable than cisalkane, which means 3 is going to be more stable than 4. So correct answer for this question is option 3, that is 1 is more than 2, more than 3, more than 4. Let's move to the next question. The next question is regarding the stability of the following species. So they have given us carbonan and they're asking us the stability order of carbonan. So we know stability of carbonan is directly proportional to electron withdrawing group electron withdrawing group and is inversely proportional to electron donating group. More electron withdrawing nature, more will be stability. More electron donating nature, lesser will be stability. Now let's see, Br is electron withdrawing group, Cn is electron withdrawing group, OCH3 is electron donating group, and NO2 again is electron withdrawing group. Now Br will withdraw electron by minus I effect, Cn will withdraw by minus M effect, OCH3 will donate electron by plus M effect, and NO2 will withdraw electron by minus M effect. Now the least stable out of all will be D, because D only is having electron donating group. Then it will be B because it is not having any group other than benzene. If you compare A, C and E, then C and E will be more stable than A, because in C and E electron withdrawing is by minus M. So third one will be A. And between C and E, if you see, E NO2 will have more minus M than Cn. If NO2 has more minus M, it means NO2 will be more stable as compared to Cn. So correct order will be E more than C, more than A, more than B, more than D. So this is our option A. E more than C, more than A, more than B, more than D. So correct answer for this question is option A. Let's move to the next question. This question is from reaction of phenol and carboxylic acid. They have given what is the sum of molar mass of X and Y formed in the given reactions. They have given phenol treated with sodium to form sodium phenoxide and X, and carboxylic acid, benzoic acid with NaHCO3 to form sodium benzoate plus Y plus H2O. So first of all, we have to find what is X and what is Y, and then we have to find the molar mass. So we know when phenol is reacted with sodium, it forms sodium phenoxide, and X over here will be hydrogen. If you see balanced equation, half H2 gas will be produced. So X is halogen, X is hydrogen, which means molar mass of X will be 2. Next one, we know when benzoic acid is treated with NaHCO3, it forms sodium benzoate plus CO2 plus H2O. So Y will be our CO2 gas, and molar mass of Y, we know it is equal to 44. So they're asking what is the sum of molar mass of X and Y. So 44 plus 2 will be 46. So correct answer for this question is option 1. So I hope all the questions are clear. Remaining questions will be discussed by other faculties.
Let's move to physics.
Hello friends, so let's discuss some more questions of the today's morning session. So the first question that we have here is from electrostatics. We have three charges plus 2q and minus 4q are placed on 0, minus 3a, 2a, 0 and minus 2a, 0 respectively in xy plane. The resultant dipole moment about origin. The question is just asking about dipole moment. So to calculate dipole moment of the system of charges, effective dipole moment of system of charges, we can just multiply the value of charge into its position vector. The first charge plus 2q is at the position of 0, minus 3a. Its position vector should be minus 3a into j cap. Now the second charge again plus 2q is at a position of 2a, 0. So 2a I cap. The next charge is minus 4q, so I should put minus 4q here, and its position vector is minus 2a, 0, so minus 2ai. To solve this expression, you will get Q into A common. If you see the J cap expression, first expression is in J cap, 3 to the 6, so it will be minus 6 J cap. The other two expressions are in I cap. The first one is 4 I cap and next one is 4 to the 8 I cap. So total 8 plus 4 I cap. So we are getting 12 I cap minus 6 J cap into Q into S. So the best possible answer is third. Let's see the next question. The next question is involving little bit of rotation. So we have a system in which 450 gram and 300 gram, two masses are hanging with help of a pulley which is having some mass. They are asking the moment of inertia of this pulley. The information available to us is that the heavier mass is going by 81 centimeter downward in 9 seconds. So with this information, you can definitely calculate the acceleration of the system. The acceleration of system you can calculate by the displacement of the mass. Let's use S is equal to ut plus half at square. So this S should be equal to half at square. Hence acceleration you can write as 2s by t square. If you put the value of displacement, which is given as 81 centimeter, whole thing divided by time square, which is going to be 81. So see, this is 0.02 meter per second square. So we know the acceleration of system. Now for this system, let's say the 450 gram mass is m1, 300 gram mass is m2, and moment of inertia of the pulley about its central axis is, let's say, I. The system's acceleration, if you know from our rotational knowledge, it should be given by m1 minus m2 into g upon m1 plus m2 plus I by r square. You can easily derive this expression also by force balance equation here. Let's say this m1 mass is having its weight downward and tension T1 is in rope upward here. 300 gram will be having its weight downward m2 and there will be some tension T2 here. This T1 and T2 tensions, they are also acting on the pulley. So for the pulley, you will write equation as T1 minus T2 should into R, that is the net torque on the pulley, should be its moment of inertia I into its alpha, angular acceleration. That alpha angular acceleration, if the masses are going with acceleration A up and A down, the angular acceleration of pulley alpha you can also write as A by R. So this alpha you can just replace with A by R. And for the 450 gram mass, you will write m1g minus tension T1 is equal to its mass m1 into acceleration. For 300 gram mass, you will write T2 minus m2g should be its mass into acceleration. If we solve this three equation, we'll get the value of expression given by this expression. Now, just we need to have the put the values of m1, m2 and r and g. And we already know the acceleration value. So by solving this expression by putting the values, we can get the value of moment of inertia of the pulley. If we do the calculation part, we'll get the option is 1. It is a little bit lengthy question. We need to do a lot of equation solving and finally we need to put values also to get the final answer. Let's see the next question. The next question is an easy one. It is asking terminal velocity of drop of radius 1 centimeter is 10 centimeter per second. If 64 such balls are combined to make a larger drop, we need to find terminal velocity of this larger drop. We know the terminal velocity expression, it is proportional to radius of the ball square. Since there are 64 smaller balls or drops combining to create a bigger drop or bigger ball, the radius of the bigger ball should be given by 64 power 1 by 3 into radius of the smaller drop. This we are writing by volume conservation. So radius of bigger drop will be 64 power 1 by 3, that will be 4 cube power 1 by 3, that is 4 times smaller. So radius of bigger drop is 4 times smaller r. Now, because terminal velocity is proportional to r square, hence terminal velocity nu should be 16 times old terminal velocity, r square 4 square will be 16. Old terminal velocity is 10 centimeter per second, so 16 times of that will be 160 centimeter per second. Let's go to next question. Next question is based on optics. It is involving idea of TIR and prism. So the question is saying that first the prism is set up such that minimum deviation is taking place. The incident light is coming at such angle of incidence so that we are obtaining minimum deviation angle. In this case, we must be knowing that the angle of refracted ray inside the prism makes an angle of A by 2 on both sides if the prism angle is A. You can get this relation because R1 plus R2 is giving prism angle and R1 and R2 are equal, both are equal to A by 2 at delta minimum condition. So just using this condition, we can see the angle of the light ray on the second incident surface is a by 2. But it is also given in the question that when a slab of refractive index n by 2 is kept here, we are obtaining TIR. If we are obtaining TIR, it means this angle of incidence is nothing but critical angle. So sine of critical angle should be equal to mu of the denser medium, which is n, upon mu of the rarer medium, which is going to be, sorry, mu of the rarer by mu of denser, which is going to be n by 2 by n. So it's going to be half. Since sine of a by 2 is half, we can write a by 2 should be 30 degree or a should be equal to 60 degree. So this very easily we are getting option 1. Let's see the next question. Next question is a theoretical question based on nuclear physics. First option is saying that binding energy per nucleon always increases with mass number. First option is saying that binding energy per nucleon always increases with mass number. We know that binding energy per nucleon, we know that when binding energy per nucleon is plotted against mass number, initially the binding energy per nucleon increases, it becomes maximum, and finally it drops. So binding energy per nucleon has a variation like this. It does not always increases with mass number. Hence the statement 1 should be a false statement. The statement 2 is claiming that for smaller mass number nuclei, they always perform nuclear fusion. We know in Sun the reactions are happening so that smaller nuclei are converting into bigger mass number nuclei, or midweight number of nuclei, we should say. So the statement 2 seems correct. Hence the best possible answer is statement 1 is false and statement 2 is correct. Remember, these are memory based questions, so there is always some possibility of some change in wording or change in language. Let's go to the next question. The next question is from Newton laws of motion and it's also incorporating friction. So if we see the question, they are saying that for the given arrangement, find the value of force F in Newton so that body C moves with constant velocity. The body C, if we see, is getting pulled by a force F, and there is no friction given between body C and the ground. But there is friction coefficient given between body A and body B, and body B and body C. Both are equal to 0.5. If we try to pull the body C like this, then if we assume body A and B are sticking together, they are moving together, they will be going backward, and the body C should be going forward like this because of the force F. Hence, there is a tendency of relative motion between B and C. There should be friction involved between B and C. The weight of A and B combinedly is 10 kg. So, there will be a normal force of 100 Newton if I assume G is 10 meter per second square. Because of this 100 Newton of normal, you can see there will be a friction. Mu is 0.5. So, it will be 50 Newton. The same 50 Newton of friction force should be pulling the C block also in backward direction, because friction is an action reaction pair force. It acts on both the block B and C. B and C are connected to the string also, so there has to be some tension in the string. The string tension is nothing, it is balancing 50 Newton if the C is moving with constant velocity. We have to take care of this point. Body C is moving with constant velocity. So the force on the C is also balanced and force on the A and B are also balanced. So tension should be 50 Newton. This tension is 50 Newton. If the backward force which is pulling the block C is total 100 Newton, the forward force F must be greater than or equal to 100 Newton for motion of the block C. So minimum force for which block C is going with constant velocity is 100 Newton. So answer of this question should be 100 Newton. Let's go to the next question. This is the projectile motion question. In every shift we are observing a question of projectile motion is always asked. This question is saying that a projectile is projected with certain speed at angle of 45 degree with horizontal as shown. At 2 seconds, the projectile is at maximum height, and at 3 seconds, it just touches a wall of height capital H above horizontal. We need to find H value in meters. So the question is saying that at 2 seconds, the body is at maximum height. Using this information, because the initial velocity of projection in vertical direction should be u cos 45, it should be u by root 2. So by this information, the time of flight is going to be 4 seconds, or half time of flight is going to be 2 seconds. That 2 should be equal to u sine theta, that is u by root 2 by g, or u you can calculate, it's going to be 20 root 2. So projection speed is now known to us. If u is 20 root 2, so horizontal speed of projection is 20 meter per second and vertical speed of projection is also 20 meter per second. Knowing that, I can calculate the maximum height attained by the projectile at 2 seconds. So that H max, I am calling that to be H dash, is going to be u sine theta, which is going to be 20 square by 2 into g. If we see, this is going to be 20 meter. Here the maximum height achieved by the projectile is 20 meter. We need to find the height of the wall. The wall is touched by projectile from this highest point, it is reaching at 2 seconds, and here this ball is reaching at 3 seconds. So from this point to this point, the maximum height to this point on the wall, it is going in 1 second duration. In this 1 second duration, because at topmost point the vertical velocity should be 0, it is having free fall for 1 second duration. So the height covered by the ball in this time interval, that is, let's say small h, should be equal to half gt square, t is 1, it should be 5 meter. If this height is 5 meter, initially it was at 20 meter height, it is dropping by 5 meter. So the small h, the value of capital H, which is the height of the wall, this ball is dropped from 20 meter, this is falling by 5 meter, and this height should be 15 meter. So in this way we can get answer very quickly, 15 meter. This concludes our set of questions. Thank you.
Now moving to chemistry.
Hi students, let us go for the next question. That is, consider the following molecule: A. Paranitrophenol, B. Phenol, C. Toluene. He asked to find out correct order of dipole moment. In this type of question, just we have to identify flow of electron density. That is direction of electron flow. If you are able to identify, you can get the answer. Here OH is a plus M group. In this also, it is also a plus M group. Methyl is also plus M like due to hyperconjugation. So in the 3 molecule, the electron flow is into the benzene. So that is, all of them electron density is into the benzene side. But if you see that in the molecule A, NO2 group, that is a minus M group. That means that electron flow is encourages here, is here, and this NO2 also makes in this direction. So electron flow will be like this. Because of that, all the electron density into the ring more in the A rather than B. Next, in C, the electron flow is due to hyperconjugation, rather than plus M, it is less. That's why the correct answer for the given question is A greater than B greater than C. Now let us go for the next question. See, given below are 2 statements. Atomic radius is always more than ionic radius. Students, this statement is correct when you consider that ionic radius is cationic radius. Here he said ionic radius. We cannot say that is only cation. So ionic means cationic will be there as well as anionic will be there. So according to that, anion radius is more than neutral atom, which is more than cationic. Therefore, the given statement should be wrong. If you go for the second question, second statement, students, the correct order of metallic character is, yes, the first 2 elements. Potassium is from alkali metal, magnesium is alkaline earth metal, aluminum is a p black metal, and boron is a typical non-metal. When you consider first A group and second A group metals atomic radii, we can easily identify by using a small clue like this. Here, if you are observe that lithium size is bigger than magnesium, lithium size is smaller than magnesium, magnesium size is smaller than sodium, sodium size is smaller than calcium, strontium, barium. My potassium size is bigger than all the second A group elements, not only for the magnesium. This is a small hint to identify first A group and second A group metallic radii, if they want to differentiate, this is the better way or best way to utilize. Now go for the next point, that is potassium is bigger than that of magnesium. If you go for aluminum, yes, what is that aluminum, magnesium and aluminum, if you compare left to right, size decreases, that's why magnesium is bigger than that of aluminum, and boron is a typical non-metal which is in the second period element, which is smaller than the remaining three. That's why the correct statement 2 is the correct one. The correct order of metallic radii is given potassium greater than magnesium greater than aluminum, which is greater than boron. Now go for the next question, student. Yes, here this match the column is a different type of thermodynamical processes versus work done. If you see that free expansion, work done is equal to 0. Reversible isothermal work. Reversible isothermal work is minus nRT ln of V final by V initial or V2 to V1. Reversible isothermal work, that is work done is equal to P external into delta V or P final into change in volume. Adiabatic reversible work done, that is NCV delta T. Just this is a formula based question. Just better answer is A3, B4, C1 and D2. Thank you, students.
Now moving to chemistry.
Hello students, let's discuss remaining questions of today's paper. The first question is non-volatile solute A of mass 0.3 gram, molecular mass 60, and non-volatile solute B of mass 0.9 gram, molecular mass 180 in 100 ml water at 27 degrees centigrade. If Kb is 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole, then elevation in boiling point is. So this question is from elevation in boiling point from chapter solution, and we know the formula that delta TB is equal to I into Kb into m. Now if they have not given anything about the solute, we'll take I to be 1. Kb given is 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. So we have to find molality of this solution. Molality is number of moles of solute divided by weight of solvent in kg. Now moles of A, if you calculate, moles of A will be given weight upon its molar mass, which is 60, which will be equal to 1 by 200. Same way moles of B we can calculate, that will be equal to 0.9 upon 180, which again will be 200. So we can write total moles will be equal to 1 by 200 plus 1 by 200, which is equal to 2 by 200 or 1 by 100. Weight of water over here will be equal to 100 gram. They have given 100 ml water at 27 degrees centigrade. We take density as 1 gram per ml, which means weight of water will be 100 gram. So if we calculate molality from here, it will be 1 by 100 divided by 100 gram into 1000. So this will be cancelled out. So molality will come out to be 1 by 10, which is 0.1. So if we substitute all these data, we'll get delta TB is equal to 1 into 0.52 into 0.1. So that will be equal to 0.052 Kelvin. So answer for this question is option 2, 0.052 Kelvin. Let's see next question. Next question is from ionic equilibrium. They're saying a solution contains two group 4 cations X plus 2 and Y plus 2, each at initial concentration of 0.1 m. H2S gas is passed through the solution to form a saturated solution. Given Ksp of Ys is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 molar square. Ksp of Xs is 1 into 10 to the power minus 27 molar square. What is the minimum concentration of sulfide in H2 minus required to begin precipitation of Ys? So we know, first of all, this question is based on solubility product. and for begin to precipitate they are saying, so Ksp should be equal to Kip. To begin precipitation, the solubility product of the salt should be equal to the ionic product. Now they are asking for Ys, for Ys. So Ksp for Ys will be 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 27. That will be equal to Kip, that will be equal to concentration of Y plus 2 into concentration of S minus 2. So if you substitute the values which is given, we'll get 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 is equal to concentration of Y plus 2 given is 0.1 into concentration of S2 negative. So from here we can get concentration of S2 negative will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 26, which means the correct answer for this question is option 1, which is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 26. Let's see the next question. This question is from coordination compounds. They're asking what is the hybridization and spin only magnetic moment of complex CO6Cl3. So in this question, the complex given is cobalt hexacarbonyl chloride, in which cobalt is present in plus 3 oxidation state. In plus 3 oxidation state, the configuration of cobalt will be 3d6. Now, as carbon monoxide is a strong field ligand, there will be pairing of electrons. So, if you write the configuration of cobalt plus 3, so cobalt plus 3 is 3d6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 electron, and in presence of a strong field ligand, in presence of a strong field ligand, there will be pairing of electrons. There will be pairing of electrons. So if electrons are getting paired, it will be converted to, if we draw the box diagram, CO plus 3 will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2d orbitals will be vacant, one s is vacant, and p orbital will also be vacant. So these 6 orbitals will undergo hybridization. If these orbitals are undergoing hybridization, the hybridization state will be D2sp3. And as there is no unpaired electron, the magnetic moment will be 0 bm. Formula for magnetic moment is root over of n into n plus 2 bm. So n is 0, that's why magnetic moment will be equal to 0. So correct answer for this question is option 1, that is D2sp3 hybridization and 0 bm magnetic moment. I hope all these questions are clear to everyone.
Let's move to physics.
Good afternoon. The next question is, 3 uniformly concentric charged shells are kept as shown. Find potential at each shell. We know that for any position r less than or equals to capital R, potential will be given by kq divided by capital R. Now similarly, for a position r greater than or equals to capital R, potential will be given by kq divided by small r. So as a result of this one, when you are calculating potential of the innermost shell, due to charge q1, the potential will become equals to kq divided by A. Because of charge q2, the potential will become kq2 divided by B. Because of charge q3, it will become kq divided by kq3 divided by C. Hence, the potential at A will become equals to VA will become equals to k q1 divided by A plus k q2 divided by B plus k q3 divided by C. Similarly, when you are calculating potential on the middle shell, because of the charge q1, the point is lying outside the shell, and because of q2 it is lying on the surface, because of q3 it is lying inside the shell. Therefore, potential at point P will become equals to k into q1 plus q2 divided by B plus k q3 divided by C. Similarly, when you are calculating potential at any point on the surface of the outermost shell, there will be potential due to q1, q2, q3, all the 3 charges. So as a result of q1, the point is lying outside, for q2 also it is lying outside the shell, for q3 it is lying on the surface. Therefore, Potential at any point on the outermost shell will be given by potential at point C will become C equals to K into Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 whole divided by C. The next question, hands up. Before I go to the next question, let us see the options. So the best option is going to be option 2. Next question. Find the work done. Here 3 point masses are given, which are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle. So here the configuration has changed. From initial separation, initial length of the triangle is 20 meters and the final is equals to 25 meters. So this is here we are calculating the amount of work done by an external agent in changing the configuration slowly. So the amount of work done by an external agent in changing the configuration slowly is nothing but equals to change in potential energy, which is final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Here masses are not changed, only the distance between the masses has changed. So the amount of work done by the external force will become C equals to minus, I can take common, G I can take common, the masses I can take common, product of the masses M1 M2 plus M2 M3 plus M3 M1 whole multiplied with 1 by, because I am calculating final minus initial, 1 by R2 minus 1 divided by R1. Now the amount of work done by external force will become C equals to minus. The value of capital G is given, which is nothing but 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 into the products of the masses 300 into 200 plus 200 into 400 plus 400 into 300 whole multiplied by 1 divided by 25 minus 1 divided by 20. So making the suitable calculations, we are going to get the option 1. Next question. Match the two lists given below. Column 1, they have given few physical quantities, column 2 the respective dimensional formula will match. So for here what we will do is we will use the relations connecting physical quantities. The first one, they have asked the dimensional formula of magnetic flux. I am using the formula E is equals to minus d phi by dt. So the dimensional formula for flux is equals to dimensional formula for EMF into dimensional formula for time. Dimensional formula for flux is equals to, this EMF is nothing but work done per charge mode into time. That should become C equals to, dimensional formula for work done is nothing but mL square T power minus 2. Charge is nothing but current into time into time. Dimensional formula for flux is equals to m L square T power minus 2 a to the power of minus 1. So this particular option A will matches with 2. Next one, permeability. I will use the formula B is equals to mu naught Ni. Dimensional formula for mu naught will be equals to dimensional formula for B divided by dimensional formula for N into I. Dimensional formula for mu naught is equals to B, I am going to replace with force acting per unit charge per unit velocity into N into current. Dimensional formula for mu naught will become equals to, force is nothing but mL T power minus 2, charge is nothing but AT, velocity is nothing but L T power minus 1, N number of turns is nothing but L to the power of minus 1, current is nothing but A. So now in this expression, this T power minus 1, L power minus 1 will get cancelled. Dimensional formula for mu naught is nothing but mL T power minus 1 minus 2 a to the power of minus 2. So mL T power minus 2 a power minus 2. So option B matches with 3. Next, magnetic induction, the third one. So when it comes to magnetic induction, B is nothing but force per unit charge per unit velocity. The dimensional formula for B is nothing but force is nothing but ml t power minus 2, charge is nothing but current into time, velocity is nothing but L t power minus 1. T and t power minus 1 will get cancelled, L and L will get cancelled. The dimensional formula for B is nothing but m L power 0 t power minus 2 a to the power of minus 1. So here this third one C matches with 4. And last one is self induction. So for calculation of the self induction, what I will do is I will use the equation EMF is equals to minus L di by dt. So the dimensional formula for self induction is nothing but equals to dimensional formula of EMF into dimensional formula for time taken divided by dimensional formula for current. So the dimensional formula for self induction is nothing but EMF is nothing but work done by charge, charge is nothing but equals to current into time divided by current. Time and time will get cancelled. The dimensional formula for self induction is m L square t power minus 2 a to the power of minus 2. So this is the option. Hence option 1 will be correct. The next question. A cylinder of mass m, length L and area of cross section A is in equilibrium in liquid of density rho. Find the time period of small oscillation. This is rho. Find the time period of small oscillations. So what we consider is already is in equilibrium. Let us imagine that this has been displaced by a small distance which is equals to y. So when it is displaced by a small distance y, then an extra length of y has been immersed into the liquid. So there is increase in force of buoyancy which will act as restoring force. So already it was in equilibrium. So net force will become equals to the displacement in the downward direction, the increase in buoyancy is acting in the upward direction. So minus increase in force of buoyancy is nothing but equals to rho into the volume immersed. The volume immersed here is nothing but A into y into g. So the acceleration experienced by the object will become equals to minus rho a g divided by m into y. Therefore, the time period will become equals to 2 pi into under root of m divided by rho a g. Option 4. Next one. A dipole is placed in a uniform magnetic field B equals to 800 Gauss at an angle of 30 degrees. Then it experiences a torque of 16 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton meter. Find a work done in slowly moving the dipole from stable equilibrium to unstable equilibrium. So here they are given that there is a dipole initially making an angle 30 degrees with the direction of the magnetic field. So if I consider that this is the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of dipole moment, this angle is given as theta equals to 30 degrees. We know that the torque they have given. The torque experienced by dipole will be given by Pe sin theta. So from this equation I can say Pe will become equals to tau divided by sin theta, theta is given as 30 degrees, so 2 times of torque. So the product of dipole moment into magnetic field Pb is nothing but equals to 2 into 16 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So Pb will become equals to 32 into 10 to the power of minus 3. This is the value of Pb. Now they are asking what is the amount of work done in rotating it from stable equilibrium to unstable equilibrium. The amount of work done in rotating a dipole from an angle theta 1 to theta 2 will become equals to the magnetic dipole minus mb into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So the amount of work done When it comes to stable equilibrium, initial equilibrium is stable equilibrium at an angle 0 degrees, unstable equilibrium is 180 degrees is equals to minus mb, the product of the dipole moment into magnetic field induction is given. So, this will becomes equals to 32 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into cos 0 minus cos 180. It will be in stable equilibrium at 0 degrees and it will be unstable equilibrium at 180 degrees. Cos 0 is 1, cos 180 is minus 1. This will become minus 2. So, altogether the amount of work done in rotating from stable equilibrium to unstable equilibrium will becomes equals to 64 into 10 to the power of minus 3 joules. Hence, option 1.